Welcome back to the green yard. Hope you're all having a great day. It is a beautiful Saturday morning, and I didn't think I would be filming this this quickly, but I am, and I'm so excited that I am, because I'm over here in a part of the green yard that we really don't talk about very much. It's over here kind of where the garden is. I know when I first started doing this, I mentioned that there might be a market garden, something like that. Probably not gonna make it. It's not that big of a space to provide food for others, hopefully just for ourselves so we can be somewhat self-sufficient off of our garden. I'm gonna do some redesign work and things before I do show you that garden, other than a brief pan through. But one thing that I ended up doing over here is I ended up taking some of that garden space away and making a irrigation pond. And so what this is over here is this is an irrigation pond, and I haven't introduced this at all before. This is kind of the first time, and it's about 7 feet deep and 12 feet wide by about 6 feet, or I'm sorry, 12 feet in length, 6 feet wide. It can hold, from my calculations, about just over 3,000 gallons of water. And what happens is when we get our flood irrigation, it goes and it fills up this pond. And then what I can do is some of my trees that don't get flood irrigation, I then use a sub pump, a submersible pump, and I pump it out to those trees, and I water those trees with the nutrient-rich water from this pond. I have lots of tilapia in here, as well as some aquatic plants, things that keep this water clean. Hopefully someday in the future I will also be able to harvest that tilapia as well from this pond. Not entirely why we're over here. One of the design things when I did this is I wanted to provide the pond shade, especially in the summer. So I actually planted this beautiful tree right here, which is why we're here. This is a Barbie Pink Guava, okay? I also planted this Indian Jujube as well, which we'll do an episode on once we get fruit. It has flowered many times. It has yet to hold fruit, but it is still in the growing phases. I got it when it was about this tall, about 4 inches tall, so it's still working on it. I did plant another Peruvian white guava. It did not make it. I'm working on getting a new one. Part of the reason it did not make it is because this is one of the harshest parts in the green yard. It literally gets full sun all day long, and it's against this block wall. So when we're talking about this guava today, keep in mind that it's planted in about 2 feet of space, 2.5 feet of space between this irrigation pond and the block wall. Full sun all day long. The reason I'm making this video though is because I came out today to do my bi-weekly watering. I only water this area. These trees only get watered once every 2 weeks. I do have it heavily mulched over here. They are in full sun. And I was gifted this beautiful Barbie Pink Guava. It's one of the bigger guavas I've actually seen here in the Phoenix Valley, which is really great. But I wanted to kind of go through the growing that, how I maintain, how I take care of this Barbie Pink Guava, and then of course try this beautiful guava on camera as well. Here we go. Alright, so when we're talking about this Barbie Pink Guava here, you can see it's actually about 5 feet tall now. It's doing really, really great over in this space. It took about 6 months or so. I planted it in the middle of summer. I planted it almost a year ago. This has only been in the ground a year. I planted about a year ago, right in the middle of summer, and I put it over here in this space. There's really only about 2.5 feet between the irrigation pond and the wall. This wall right here gets very, very hot in the summer. It gets full sun all day long. And this guava is just thriving. It's putting off a whole bunch of new growth on here. Beautiful, beautiful new growth. Doing very well. There's also, besides the guava in my hand, there's also another guava that's hiding in here. Another big, beautiful, beautiful guava that's going to be harvested very soon as well. As you can see here, this is heavily mulched like I mentioned before. I also go ahead and I've added in my sulfur, and you can see in here that I also did a 6-month fertilizer here as well. It's done very, very, very well in this spot. Really doing great over here. The other thing that I do is that fish emulsion that we talked about. So here's my fish emulsion. I take the recommended dose, which is an ounce of fish emulsion for 5 gallons of water. Here's a 5-gallon bucket here. Went ahead and poured that in, and then added in those 5 gallons of water. Now that it's ready, I'm going to share this between my Indian Jujube, which is right here, and of course my Barbie Pink Guava that's right here. I do feel that that adds those nutrients in, that really helps it grow and thrive here in this harsh part of the green yard with this block wall right next to it. All right, so of course the moment we've all been waiting for. Like I said, this is pretty big. This is a big guava. Here's my head next to it. Pretty big guava here. So let's go ahead and give it a try. I'm gonna avoid a few little animals got to it before I did, so there are a few marks there, but let's go ahead and try it. With guavas, you can eat the skin as well, so I'm just gonna take a big bite out of it and give it a try. And the seeds too, you can eat the seeds too. You know, it's actually really good. I've had a few guavas in the past that I didn't like, and when I smelled the fragrance of this one, it reminded me of those guavas. But this one, you can see the pink on the inside. It's actually very sweet, and I feel like it tastes a little bit like strawberries, which is kind of cool. So, really short episode today, but I wanted to kind of share this space with you, and of course talk about my beautiful Barbie Pink Guava. Try one on camera for you. Super easy tree to grow here in the valley, very much like citrus, so it can take our winters, it can take full sun. It does great here. Recommend, highly recommend this tree for something tropical, something that you can eat. And the Barbie Pinks are very good, so I'd recommend those as well. So as always, live green, plant lots, and of course have fun. I'm gonna finish this guava, so I'm having a great time. We'll see you next time.